Hi there. So I'm Derrick Espadas, and I'm seeking to serve you on the Arizona Corporation Commission. And if you've been watching the first couple of videos in this series, I promised you, or threatened, depending how you see it, to tell you what is the Arizona Corporation Commission. And do not feel bad if you do not know. It is, most people don't. It's what we call a down ballot item. So, at top you usually have your president, senators, congressperson, all the stuff that we kind of know from the media. And down at the bottom is Arizona Corporation Commission, mine inspector, kind of things that a lot of times you have no idea what's going on, who these people are. And so, I even hear a lot of people just don't fill out the bottom or vote for those at the bottom of the ballot. So let's do something here to see if we can get you up to speed on what the ACC is. So there's five members, five commissioners on the Arizona Corporation Commission. Currently, it's all Republicans serving right now. And essentially, the biggest factor and what a lot of people know them for is that they regulate the utilities of Arizona, which includes price increases, making sure that safety is adhered to. And this includes your electricity, your water, your natural gas, and your telecommunications. So that's why I'm doing this. This is very, if there is any item on the being addressed by your local representatives, this is an item that hits your pocketbook on a daily basis. And not to say some of the larger scale items of principles and values aren't important, but my understanding and talking with people that the pocketbook issues are the most important. And so this down ballot item directly hits your pocketbook. And this is why the voting on the Arizona Corporation Commission is so important. So, like I mentioned, the commissioners set utility rates. They decide on our energy sources. They also theoretically ensure that companies deliver reliable and affordable services. And that's why I say theoretically. Currently here in Pima County, we just, the county commissioners approved a land sale for a data center, and as soon as that passed, proposal for 14% increase to our electricity here in Tucson. So we'll see how that delivers back, and thank you, commissioners, for deciding to do a revote on that one. So the ACC also oversees business. So when you form an LLC or an S corp or a corporation, you're sending your paperwork to the Arizona Corporation Commission. They're also involved in securities here, and we'll talk a little bit more about that because that's on their agenda for next week. Um, and they're also responsible for pipelines and railroads and safety across the state. So that has a big impact as well. With that, the trains and transportation and pipelines having a lot of effect on environmental quality around the state. And so they're also involved in that. Now, what makes Arizona unique in this situation is that Arizona is only one of 13 states where you can elect someone to this position. And oftentimes, so you heard me mention about the railroads and the pipelines. Most states don't include that. So I would say our corporation commission is quite unique. When I speak to people in other states, I usually just say our utility commission, and they're like, "Oh, okay," just because it makes it simpler. And they kind of our corporation commission acts like a court for these issues. So there's actual filings from attorneys. made, even when it's a rate increase. And if you've ever noticed, and some of the paperwork on a filing, it's exactly like that. So what makes this so important is it not only affects your direct rate on how your electric bill and your utilities bills show up at your house and whether they're more expensive or not, but this obviously, with that in mind, affects the overall economy of Arizona, the growth of Arizona, the environmental policies of Arizona, and whether or not we have cleaner energy, and if we're able to not be punished for that cleaner energy. We was just at a gathering today, and I say, as a consumer, I find it ridiculous that if I decide not to use the energy from the electrical company, I still got to pay them. And the what's constantly brought up in these arguments is, oh, the free market. The free market that's a market failure to say, if I pay someone else, I still have to pay you. And so that is something to be talked about at another time. But what I did want to do, I wanted to take, because I this is so important. So I did want to take you through some of the what the Arizona Corporation Commission. Now that's my email box. So let's jump on over, and hopefully I am sharing. Says I am sharing, or else you're just going to be wondering what weird things I'm talking about. And I've done that. Okay, so this is, if you go and you can Google Arizona Corporation Commission, that'll come up. And like I said, this is just as an accountant, this is one of the first things I run into when someone wants to start a business. This is the website you go to when you want to file your LLC paperwork. So this is a very important website. But what we're going to take a look at here is the docket, because the docket has a lot of information. One of the things I want to do as your corporation commissioner is to make this information more available. Obviously, I can't control whether someone wants to even learn more about what the ACEC is, but I want to make sure that information is available if it is so desired, and maybe even get it to the point where people do want to be more involved. Now, looking at this week, they don't have much scheduled for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I cannot say why. I will not say that the commissioners don't deserve days off. It's not that. So I'm just showing you the calendar. I'm not making a judgment on that. I'm just showing you the calendar. The judgment will come later. So we're looking here on July 1st, and there it comes up. You just click on the little dots. That means something's on there. And it says a status conference, Celebration of Life, Inc. et al. And so I looked into this, and this is so status conferences, where are we on this? This is a lawsuit that has been quite a long one, a span of years, that involves individuals from Celebration and a charge of securities fraud. One of not following the proper paperwork to offer securities, also not the potential of fraud involved in that, and I believe two of the people being sued in this state from Celebration have two former securities fraud um, cases on their record. So we'll move over to the 27th, and we'll see what's going on there. And really, it's as easy as that. We'll just click on the little button. And it looks like we're still looking at some of the, oh, we got a hearing, and we got a public comment. And this is why it's really important. So there's the hearing for Sahuarita Water Company. And like I mentioned to you, a big part of what the Arizona Corporation Commission does is set utility rates. And how they do it, the format is if there's a lawsuit. So Sahuarita Water Company filed paperwork saying, and I believe it says they throw a number, we cannot meet our revenue targets. Therefore, we must increase the rates to Sahuarita water users. And they have to make the case in front of the commission to do that. Now, on the other side of that is that they are accepting public comments. So this is where you, as a citizen, sometimes they do this in person. I believe this one is going to be in person in Tucson. I think room 222. You can either show up as a citizen and speak. Sometimes they will have these meetings on Zoom. Sometimes they'll have them on the telephone. They're listed as teleconference. I don't know. I haven't attended one that way. I don't know if that refers to a more modern way of like it's on Zoom or something like that, or if it literally still refers to using a telephone. But this is I strongly encourage you, those that are Sahuarita Water Company, to show up and voice your opinion. And that's really why I wanted to show you this calendar. This is a way for you to hold those that should be placing you in high regard to service towards you. Um, and for you to have your voice heard. And this happens all across the state. So, again, you can go to azcc.gov, navigate to the calendar. It'll be called the e-docket. And that way you can be more in control of your life by having your voice heard. So I will post another video next week. I'm not exactly sure what the topic is that I will be speaking on. But this week I will be out in Ajo. I will also be up in the Navajo reservation this weekend for their celebration of Dene Pride. So feel free to shoot me out a message. Please sign my petition ballot to be a candidate to serve you. Can either use, oops, wrong way, the code there, or it'll be down in the comments. And really just fight for the world that you want to see. So thank you for your substantial amount of time. Enjoy your day. Thank you very much.